You're working harder than ever, no real days off, no proper breaks. Your schedule is full, your to-do list is endless, and still you feel worse, not better, more exhausted, more anxious, more perpetually behind. Here's the cruel paradox almost nobody sees. The harder you try, the unhappier and more stuck you become. This is not a motivation problem. This is not a discipline problem. And it is absolutely not a sign that you're weak or lazy. What you're experiencing is a hidden, self-reinforcing psychological trap, an overwork cycle that runs silently in the background of your life. The longer it goes unnoticed, the deeper it pulls you into burnout and anxiety. In this video, I'll break down exactly how this invisible trap works, why your best efforts keep backfiring, and share 3 actionable mindset shifts to break free for good, stop burning out, and start working sustainably again. We're all raised on a simple promise: work hard, get results, feel accomplished. It sounds like a foolproof formula, but real life follows an entirely different rulebook. You push through fatigue, hit a big goal, and finally think you've made it. But the second you succeed, something strange happens. Your internal standards instantly jump higher. Overnight, your win becomes your new baseline. Once again, you feel behind. Once again, you have to push harder. The finish line keeps moving further away. The gap between where you are and where you think you should be never closes. Psychologists call this goal drift. It's an automatic, unconscious brain mechanism. Every time you level up, your brain relocates the goalposts to keep you striving. You don't choose it. You don't notice it. You just keep running faster, chasing a progress line that never stays still. On the surface, this looks like ambition. Underneath, it's a never-ending cycle of pressure that guarantees you'll never feel satisfied, never feel caught up, and never truly rest. Goal drift is only the surface issue. The deeper problem rewires how your brain interprets rest and productivity. Think about your last completely free day. No deadlines, no urgent tasks, nothing demanding your attention. Did you feel calm and relaxed? Or did you feel a subtle, nagging guilt, an urge to do something productive, to fill the silence, to fix the problem of being still? That uneasy pull is called effort addiction. Here's how it develops. Every time you check off a task, reply to an email, or tidy up your to-do list, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine. Over time, it rewires itself entirely. It doesn't just reward productivity. It starts to associate busyness with safety. Stillness becomes a threat. Pausing feels like falling behind. Resting feels like failure. You keep working, not because you're passionate, not because you have a clear vision, but because stopping feels more uncomfortable than continuing to grind. This isn't just for extreme workaholics. Global research across 23 countries and 70,000 participants shows that roughly 1 in 7 people meets the clinical criteria for work addiction, most with zero awareness. They simply call it dedication, ambition, or a strong work ethic. Worst of all, most of this constant busyness is fake productivity. 10 open browser tabs, hourly inbox refreshes, repeated to-do list reorganizing, endless small busy work. You're mentally drained, emotionally exhausted, and physically worn out, but you're not actually growing. You're not advancing meaningfully. You're just hiding behind busyness to avoid the quiet discomfort of your own thoughts. When your brain is stuck in permanent, must-keep-going mode, your body's stress system never switches off. Your cortisol levels stay chronically elevated, creating constant low-grade stress with no release valve. High long-term cortisol slowly erodes every skill you need to succeed. Your focus weakens, your memory dulls, your creativity fades, and your decision-making becomes foggy and impulsive. Studies on high-pressure professionals confirm this pattern clearly. Sustained overwork and anxiety don't improve performance. They slowly destroy it. You make more mistakes, think slower, and produce lower quality work over time. This creates a brutal, vicious cycle. Your performance drops from burnout. You push harder to compensate. Your stress spikes higher. Your performance drops even further. You're not exhausted because you're undisciplined. You're exhausted because you've been running your mind at maximum speed with no reset and mistaking that dangerous depletion for dedication. The most common fix people rely on only makes it worse. Finish first, rest later. Earn first, relax later. This burn now, recover later mindset never lets your system reset. It traps you in permanent burnout. Let's break the biggest myth of modern productivity. Rest is not a reward for effort. Rest is the foundation of sustainable effort. Nearly all genuine growth happens during rest. When you pause, your brain consolidates new skills, strengthens memories, clears mental clutter, rebuilds emotional resilience, and solves the complex problems you got stuck on during work hours. Working nonstop denies your brain the time it needs to integrate progress. Effort without rest isn't maximum effort. It's depleted, inefficient effort. You're forcing out 60% output, and that percentage keeps dropping the longer you refuse to pause. A famous Microsoft Japan 4-day workweek experiment proved this perfectly. They cut one full workday, and productivity rose by 40%. It wasn't because people worked faster. It was because they recovered better. Their brains returned to work reset, sharp, and capable of high-quality focus. Important note: mindless scrolling, social media refreshing, and passive screen time are not rest. They are shallow stimulation that keeps your brain active, leaving you more drained than before. Real rest is intentional, quiet, and unrushed. Now let's look at 3 simple shifts to break the anxiety effort cycle. Shift 1. Tell the 2 kinds of effort apart. Almost all burnout comes from one mistake: mixing up growth effort with anxiety-driven busyness. Forward effort is intentional and meaningful. You focus deeply, time flows naturally, and you work toward a clear goal. You finish physically tired but mentally fulfilled, with tangible progress to show for your work. Anxiety effort is empty busyness. You jump between tasks, overcheck every detail, and fill every minute just to avoid guilt. You look busy all day, but you have no real wins. You finish completely drained, exhausted from running, not from growing. Every night, ask yourself one honest question: was today's effort moving me forward, or was I just using busyness to outrun anxiety? This simple awareness alone pulls you halfway out of the trap. Shift 2. Set a firm daily deadline. Goal drift thrives when your workday has no ending point. Infinite tasks create infinite pressure. The cure is a strict daily deadline. Each morning, skip the overwhelming endless to-do list. Ask yourself, what is one core task that, if completed today, makes my day feel successful and complete? Focus only on that one priority. Finish it fully. Then stop. Your brain will beg for just one more thing. It will tell you more equals better. But extra unplanned work reactivates the overwork cycle. Your done line is your hard boundary for mental peace and sustainable progress. Shift 3. Separate your worth from your output. This is the hardest shift, yet the most transformative. Nearly all modern work anxiety stems from one false belief: I am only valuable when I am productive. When you slow down or stop working, you feel average, inadequate, or behind. But that is not reality. That is your overworked brain's survival mechanism, forcing you to keep grinding out of fear. Try this exercise tonight. Write down 3 genuine, unshakable qualities you have that have zero connection to work, productivity, or achievement. Kindness, patience, presence, warmth, resilience, the way you care for others. Your core worth exists independent of what you produce. This exercise will feel surprisingly difficult, and that difficulty is exactly where your anxiety lies. You've tied your identity to your work output for too long. Effort is a tool for growth. It is not a price you pay to deserve being alive. If you've been grinding harder, resting less, and feeling more anxious and burnt out, you are not broken, lazy, or failing. You are simply caught in an invisible overwork cycle that nobody taught you how to spot or escape. Now you see it. Now you can break it. So ask yourself, was most of your effort this week creating real progress, or just covering up the discomfort of stopping? If this resonated with you, drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this video helped you, feel free to subscribe for more helpful content.